I was in New Orleans. I was flying back from New Orleans. Somebody had to chaperone the crew last week down in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. What an adventure that was. Good time had by all.
The Big Easy.
I will not name names on the show.
Ooh.
But some had a lot better time than others did.
Okay. Yeah, we're ruffling sheets. I don't know if that's a warrant that you have over
find
there.
out a lot about your crew when you get them all together, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was kind of like in high school or whatever it was, you go on a field trip.
Right.
That's kind of what this was. But everybody's legal.
Yeah.
And everybody has sleep habits. And it shouldn't surprise you that those who are older, they went to bed earlier.
Right.
And that the older guys, when they tried to run with the younger guys, it just took them a little bit longer to recover.
Hopefully they're doing the afternoon show.
Some were and some weren't, and they paid for it. But we're excited to have you have you with us on the program today. Back at it. What a lousy weather we've had the last couple of days.
Yeah, it's been really interesting with, these kind of peaks and valleys. And we had just like, I even remember, I think it was last week, I texted my wife and said, I could really go for a long drink right now and riding on the lawnmower and cutting the grass because it was like 70 degrees. And then all of a sudden now we're back to this blistering cold. We're going to get like 12 inches of snow this week in total.
Well, me a week ago, we were complaining about the heat in New Orleans. I mean, it was virtually every day. And it's so bizarre with the weather patterns because talking to the locals there, they're like, well, it was 2 weeks ago, we had snow on the ground in New Orleans. It was 77 every day with about 100% humidity.
Yeah, you couldn't turn the news on without seeing seeing Bourbon Street covered with just maybe an inch of snow.
Well, this is a weekend where you think about things and you work on things, right?
Yeah.
In your shop or in your garage, if it's heated, your basement, that type of stuff. This is where you get out the rod and reels, clean out the tackle box, put new string in, throw out the lures that you've had forever that don't work anymore.
Maybe they're brittle, maybe they're falling apart.
Yeah, that type of stuff. You know why? You want to do it this weekend. You want to clear some space because we're going to find out more about it. But in the next segment of the show today, our buddy, friend of show, Dan Durbin, is going to be with us. And we talked to Dan with the Ice Fishing Expo a few weeks back, which was a smash success. He and his group took over the Madison Fishing Expo about, what's it been, 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah, it's been a couple years now, yeah.
That thing has been around forever.
Yeah.
It's been around forever. And the now branded the Wisconsin Fishing Expo.
Right.
Back where it's always been at the exhibition hall at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. It is next weekend, the 21st, the 22nd, and 23rd. And we'll have an in-depth conversation with Dan coming up in the second segment of the show today to talk about things. By the way, a little tease, because that's what we do. And I guess maybe we're kind of like thumping our chest a little bit.
Yeah.
We will soon have our second affiliate of the show.
Ooh.
Yes. And it's fitting that the Wisconsin Fishing Expo is in Madison, hint, hint.
Yeah.
That's where the show may be headed soon.
Ooh.
So those of you who listen to the podcast or listen to us in the game in Milwaukee, we will soon be in the Madison market with more details to come on that. And we're trying to take over the state of Wisconsin, one show or one market at a time.
One market at a time. That's the only way that we can do it.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's all right. You hate to grow too fast, but we're right on track here.
See, and that's the thing. You brought me on board, so here we go.
It's funny though. Actually, I was thinking about it before we jumped in to record today. I'm like, I don't know, boy, we're on pace to set a record for guests. It's like we never even get the chance for the three of us to just kind of chat and catch up and shoot the breeze. And we've had guest after guest after guest. And I think we've only done like 1 out of 5 shows this year that have just been the three of us knuckleheads kind of chatting back and forth. But it's been nice because there's a lot of different things going on. Obviously, we got to call in the experts when it comes to ice fishing, like our buddy John Resnick.
Yep.
And whenever there's shows that are coming up, it's always nice just to talk to the guy in charge and get some of the details about it, hear what they're bringing to the show that's different for the year, and get us excited about it. I mean, I always love talking to Dan. So
the thing is, we hear, and you mentioned it a moment ago, we lament the snow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up north, they're loving this.
Oh, I bet.
They're loving this because they have been snow deficient
Yeah.
for the last couple of years. Tourism has taken a big hit. I saw some stories locally today about how they're, I mean, not literally, but figuratively speaking, they're doing backflips.
Yeah.
Because go make some money. Have you heard, or have you ever heard this theory that KB has about the weather and how it's changed?
No.
That if you think about, and again, I know there's an age difference between the two of us, but even when you were growing up, right? Wintertime was December, January, right? His belief is that the Earth has rotated a little bit because the weather that we've had this week and the cold weather we're going to have next week after the snow, typically, when do we have that?
January.
Exactly.
So it's shifting later in the year.
His theory is that January is February.
Okay.
February is now March.
Okay.
I mean, there's still March in the calendar, but the weather we experience.
Yeah.
If you think, and remember when we were talking about back in November, when you guys were talking about bow hunting, late season, turkey hunting, stuff like that, even into the gun deer season, we're talking about rain.
Yeah.
We're talking about warm temperatures.
That's October.
Yes.
That's September weather.
Now, again, it's just a theory. Maybe we should try to get a meteorologist on the show.
Maybe we should. Yeah.
Because if you think about what this show is about, think about the things that you hunt, the things that you fish, all that stuff is based upon nature, lunar cycles, that type of stuff. That if that is true, if there's a certain percentage of that might be true, that's affected everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been kind of interesting this year because I was just telling somebody, I went out and I shoveled this week. I didn't need to get the snowblower out because I did it kind of midway through the day, and then I did it again. And I think I've only started my snowblower once this year.
I'm probably into 3 or 4 now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're like, I don't know, you're farther out in the snow country.
That's right. I'm way up north in Lake Mills. Yeah, that's a long drive, let me tell you.
But it's just been, I don't know. It's just been kind of weird because we go through these like peaks and valleys. And I don't know, maybe just living in the moment, it feels like we are going through like big cyclical kind of weather patterns as opposed to it's just cold for all of January. It's just warm for all of February. It's snowing all of December, whatever that would be. We're getting so many different changes with it that it's been interesting to see, especially this week because we had the big full moon, huge moon on Thursday night, and we got all that snow on Wednesday. Well, we got this big, huge window that our headboard backs up to so we can look out. It's like daytime in our yard.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so bright with the snow reflecting off the moon, and when it's so big like that, we can see anything moving out there, and the deer are everywhere. They're up and on their feet. They're kind of in between a weather pattern. I can't even speak this morning. It's been kind of fun to see it, though.
Well, and here's the other thing, too, about cold weather. This is not the first cold snap we've had.
No.
We had a cold snap about a month ago. The difference is that we had no snow on the ground.
Right.
And with the amount of snow we have on the ground now, and you throw in the cold weather to it, it actually affects wind chills and things like that. It's actually colder with snow on the ground. I remember, I think it was Baden was on with Zabe, and they were talking about the cold weather. He said, be thankful there's no snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Because if there was snow on the ground, then it would be colder. And so the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, it's supposed to be really, really cold.
Single digits for highs. Yeah.
I can survive a week of it, 2 weeks of it.
Yeah, it's not so bad when it kind of comes and goes.
That's why the Fishing Expo is a nice reprieve.
To start thinking about warm weather and getting the boat out and, being out on the open water.
Or if you're going to go to Jamaica like I am with Zabe here in a couple of weeks, I'm a happy guy. By the way, speaking of booking of guests, and it's one of the things we've discussed with the show is that from time to time, like I think the station does, we kind of venture off the page.
Yeah.
Okay. Like yesterday, Drew and KB had one of the most famous guitarists of all time on their show, which is weird, because the foundation of what we do is sports.
Right.
But my grandson, my mom helped. They said, Grandma, what do you want to use for a name, right?
Sure.
And so his middle name is Riggins.
Okay.
Not like John Riggins, a former football player.
Yeah.
It came from my parents are huge fans of PBR.
Okay.
And rodeo.
Yeah.
They watch a lot of it in the wintertime because there's no Brewer baseball. So it's Brewer baseball in the spring and summer and fall. And then when that goes away, you get the Packers, and then it's back to rodeo. The PBR is coming to Milwaukee in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, first week of March, I think, first weekend in March at Fiserv. I'm not going to be here, but you guys are going to have a professional bull rider on this program.
How cool is that?
That'd be fun.
I think that's just so great.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to the event at Fiserv in the past, but it is so cool to go to. So it's just, you want to talk about toughest of the tough. It's awesome to watch.
Okay, I can make this a longer story. I'm going to make it very, very brief. Okay. When I went from one market to the next, my family stayed back in the market in my career, right? They hadn't moved with me at that time. I took a new job. So I went back to see them on the weekend. It was a Friday night. The PBR was at the venue. It wasn't Fiserv in that market I was at. It was in that building. Well, what they did to draw publicity is they took the morning show. Imagine here in Milwaukee, Scott Dolphin, right? And he spent a week training to be a rodeo clown.
Oh, man.
As God is my witness, this is a 100% true story. And so I am there with my wife and my kids because they gave us tickets before I left. And so we were there watching this, right? And the morning guy is out with the professional rodeo clown. And remember, they had trained all week, Eric, so that when the bull charges you, you either move right or left quickly, right? Or correct? So the morning guy's about 6 foot. I think he's probably 6'4", bigger guy. The bull charges.
Oh, God.
He does not move right.
No.
He does not move left. He freezes. He panics. The bull hits him flush. He is flipped over the bull's back, probably about, 7 feet in the air, and lands, what do you call it is it prolonged when you are flat out?
Okay.
Like a wrestler taking a bump off the top rope.
Yeah.
Wham on the ground. Everybody thought he was dead. And the big arena, because they were all jacked up. Here's the morning guy out there in front, and the announcer is pumping everybody up. The bull charges, and he doesn't do what he's supposed to do. He panics, he freezes, and the bull hit him flush.
Wow.
Ended up with a couple of broken ribs. He's alive to tell the story. But, yeah, so... You will not be doing that. Wags will not be doing that.
Yeah.
Me neither. Certainly Scott Dolphin will not. And you know what? They probably ended that promotion after that day, way back when.
They probably learned their lesson, yeah. Have you ever heard I don't know how active you are with like Instagram and stuff, but there's a sound that people have used that's he's a $7 million bull rider, and it's like this like big voice guy that's like rodeo announcer or whatever. It's for JB Mooney. He's like one of the most famous bull riders of all time. And I think of that throughout the year, and I'm like, when is PBR coming back? God, that was so fun to go to. And
it's fun to watch.
It's cool.
It is cool to watch.
It's a total production. It's put on so well. So that'll be exciting to finally get to talk to one of those guys because, not everybody is raised riding horses and doing all that stuff, and they decide,
wait a minute.
Yeah, I want to be a bull rider when I'm older.
I don't know how that starts, and I'm kind of disappointed I'm not going to be here.
Yeah,
because these people are borderline nuts.
Yeah,
I mean, to get on this thing,
right?
What they risk, it's crazy.
Yeah, as we've mentioned for the last couple weeks, it seems like every weekend there's something going on, but this week we're going to actually talk to Dan Durbin about the Wisconsin Fishing Expo, which is going to be in Madison next weekend. And we have, I think Dan is officially our most talked to guest now. So Dan, welcome to the show.
Well, that's quite a reference. I appreciate you having me on again. I hope I'm not too redundant each time about how great our show is each year.
You know what? You know what the term is, Eric? He's now become a friend of show.
Friend of show.
That's how you refer. That's right. That's right. Dan Durbin, friend of show, joins us now on Tailgate Talk. You know, my roots, I've talked about this before, fellas, when it comes to the Madison market. That's where my roots were, or my roots are. And this Expo, Dano, has been around for a long time, hasn't it?
Well, technically it would be the 40th year. I mean, we have not owned it for all 40, of course, but if you rolled it all the way back to when it was in a little cafeteria in Madison, yeah, they're going on, it'd be 40 years. So it's pretty crazy, and it's been almost continued growth every year. So it's a great thing.
So I'm kind of reading through everything, and we've kind of talked about this off air a little bit and just kind of going back and forth. Why don't you just go through and give us some of the highlights of new things for this year? I know there's a ton of vendors, a ton of speakers. Why don't you give us kind of your Cliff Notes for what's going on at the show this year?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, one of the biggest things is, last year we were our biggest show ever at over, 350 booths. This year we're popping around 375 booths. We've done a little bit of rearranging of the floor plan to get more of that, mom and pop gear tackle, stuff that you can't get on Amazon type gear in the show. So it's really incredible, and we are really careful that we never have, some of the stuff in there that isn't fishing related. We curate the show so that you're just going to find fishing stuff there. No super chamois or salsa makers or anything like that.
The ShamWow guy is not going to make this trip. Is that what you're saying, Dan?
And the salsa guy keeps you fed while you're walking through the show.
Yeah, well, that is true. It's like, no, this isn't Costco, get the free samples on every corner thing for that stuff. But you probably will find free samples of baits and cool stuff that, you might enjoy on the water. But, yeah, no, I mean, and it's we're very careful too that when we have vendors come in, it's not just all walleye stuff or all bass. It's just about everything you can think of that swims in fresh water. You're going to find a bait profile there that will be a different color than you can get in the big box stores, or a different length or different hooks or whatever, man. And you're talking to the owners of these bait companies that produce the bait or gear, or tackle bag or whatever, that they did it because they couldn't find it on the market. So it's a lot of unique stuff.
So as you were kind of mentioning that about, owners of the shops and some of that stuff, in the press release, your business partner, Jeff, kind of is quoted as talking about all of the nonprofit outreach that you guys do with this for either exhibitors, at a free rate or a reduced rate, and involving, veterans fishing groups, women's groups, and just doing some of those things as your way of giving back. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of those groups that will be there?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was one of the key things when we took over the show from the original Madison Fishing Expo, is that we agreed and wanted to carry out that legacy to give back to the area. A quick reference, I mean, we've got 4 different UW college bass teams. We got Whitewater, Point, Madison, and La Crosse. We give them free booths to come in and fundraise. We've got Women Fish Outdoors, several vet groups. We got good old Slinger there, of course, and at the end of the bingo thing for kids, when the kids can go around and collect, punch their cards at various fishing holes. When they're done, they end up at the Slinger booth, and they can see some cool baits that these kids are making, and get their goodie bag that's, that Kalen's and Acme is sponsoring this year. And when you get that bag, it's probably worth $10 or more just on that. It's, free lures, and it's not like the little disappointing mini Snickers you get at Halloween, It's a full bag of bait, So they're going to be happy, and their parents are going to be happy, and all the nonprofits, that's something we really believe in, and because it, you get these groups in there, and they're spreading the word about fishing and their cause, and it's just something we really believe in.
He is Dan Durbin, friend of show, talking about the Wisconsin Fishing Expo. It happens next weekend, the 21st through the 23rd at the Exhibition Hall at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. One of the things that I know when I was there for years, I loved doing between segments of my show was I love to go see the boats and what is new. I understand that boat dealers are back, and boat dealers for this show, Dan, they're looking to deal. They've got some red-hot prices, don't they?
Oh, yeah, there's rebates going right now that are incredible on a lot of these boats, whether you're looking for a tin boat or a glass boat, a center console or, fishing rig or a fishing pontoon. But one thing you will find, they're all fishing boats. You're not going to come in there and see this giant cruiser that maybe Paul Wagner might drive or something like that. It's a
that he sold.
Show. Well, yeah, he's got to, have a big rig like that to cruise around the Lake Geneva or something. But
all that big league money, I know. Yeah, it's something that none of us will ever understand.
Yeah, no, and the rates have come down a bit for financing, so that's a good thing. And we do have some new vendors at the show with some different brands that people haven't been used to seeing. And even if you're not going to buy one, I mean, it's fun crawling, the kids particularly. And heck, even when I was a kid, my dad would run me to the boat show. And even if we weren't buying a boat, it's still fun seeing them. I mean, the technology and the graphics and the new type of seats and materials, it's really fun to just, see it all.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's always new technology that comes out every year. So to be able to actually, everybody can look online and they can look at videos and they can do all that, but actually getting your hands on with that it helps. I mean, it gives you an idea of kind of what those things are all about. Let me ask you this. I see kids 12 and under are free, which is always nice to bring the whole family with. Are there any activities for the kids at the show?
Oh yeah, there's a ton of them. So we always have the trout pond, but we go a step further and tag fish in the trout pond. So not only do they get the fish, but they'll win a prize if they catch a tagged fish. Gear giveaway to patrol, that's what we call it now. They're walking around and giving all kinds of stuff away to youth and parents. Plus we've got we got minnow races going. We've got the kids virtual fishing pond. We've got virtual bow fishing. We've got free balloon, like artists that give fishing rods crafted out of balloons, and we got the bumper boats. So I mean, there's at least 6 different youth activities, and we spread them around the show so it doesn't get too crowded in any one spot and drive people nuts. So it's very interesting how we position everything so that nobody gets too jammed up, and you can absolutely spend a day or two there with just the kids stuff.
The website is wifishingexpo.com if you want to check out more about it. It's in Madison next weekend, the 21st through the 23rd. I was looking through your for the speakers at this year's Expo, and it's interesting, Dan, when you look through that you mentioned younger social media influencers. And I'll share a story with you guys. Eric, as you know, I was at the Super Bowl last week. And we went to media night on Monday night where the teams come out and the Superdome, you get a chance to meet them. It was all social media influencers.
Wow.
It was wild how that part of society, social media, has taken over a game of that impact. And so I'm not surprised when I saw that you're going to have some of those social media influencers there like Matthew Crawford and others. It's something that you can no longer ignore, right, Dan?
Well, no, especially with fishing, right? I mean, a lot of these guys, and even our older guys that are have been in the game forever, like Ish Monroe or Tommy Kimos or any one of the honestly 25 some speakers we have, they have to do that, right? Because fishing is such a now thing. You're out there and you're on a hot bite, and granted, there's no secret. A lot of these guys they're not gonna, if they're smart anyway, they're not out there fishing, showing this hot bite with a known icon in the back or tower where everybody can just go and hammer the spot. They curate that, and what rightly so, because if you have too much of this going on, you can literally damage a system if too many people go out there and hammer fish. So, but it is an extremely useful tool for getting people on a right bite. if a weed line is hot, if there's something going on, especially ice conditions, holy cow, I mean, it's perfect for that. But, and it just gets to that younger demographic that we're all trying to get into the sport. So absolutely, that's why we're trying to get some of these younger guys into our show, talking to hopefully younger people that will come watch.
So I'm just kind of looking through the website here. Do you have a jingle that you created? Did you write a song for this show as well? Or I don't want to play it in the background here. I don't know if your video's got an updated WI Fishing Expo.
Well, didn't we have
song
one for the ice fishing
for the
Expo?
ice show? Yeah. Nashville recording artist Dan Durbin.
I didn't do it this year because I couldn't decide if I got invited to some award show, like if I was on the red carpet, which is my best side, left or right. I just couldn't determine.
The pressure.
So no, I didn't do it. Yeah, it was just too much. I didn't do a jingle, but maybe we'll rethink that. And we'll get that for next time.
Yeah. Okay.
By the way,
I took a lot of grief for that. By the way,
just so you know, Eric, for years I was the voice of the Madison Fishing Expo.
You were.
I was the voice of the Madison Fishing Expo.
And now here we are, partners of the Wisconsin
So Dan, if
Fishing
you want to
Expo.
talk, I have some previous experience.
Hey, so
And
let's
I work
run
pretty
through.
I don't have that. Yeah, I don't have the silky smooth radio voice that you guys have, or the face for TV either. So I'm not sure. That's why I use that AI stuff. But if I could get you to cut a spot, that would be maybe I could script out the jingle and you could read it or something like that.
Yeah, I can read it.
I guarantee
big
attendance
radio
would go up
voice.
by like 20%.
Yeah, there you go. I can read it, but I can't sing it. Don't
Can't
ask me
sing
that.
it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the dates here again, just so that everybody knows. WIFishingExpo.com for all the details. There's maps, there's parking information, and dates and times. So February 21st through the 23rd, Friday 1 to 8, Saturday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and then Sunday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, kids 12 and under are free, $12 for adults. And then, Dan, it looks like there's a change with parking this year. It's all paperless, right?
It is paperless, and they have some Plan B options if somebody shows up. There's some places nearby they can hit a time machine or something like that. But Madison has switched because Dane County controls the parking. They have switched to paperless.
Oh,
but
yes, they do.
Cash it. Oh, they do.
Yes.
Cash at the door, by the way, to get in is the cheapest way to get in because if you buy tickets online, you'll get in a little bit quicker, but there is a fee from Ticketmaster. On that, an additional $1.50 or something like that. So cash is still king at the door if you want to do that, or credit card at the door. It's just if you buy online, you're going to have that service fee.
All right, so I've got to ask an off-the-wall question here. And Dan is friend of show, so I think I'm allowed to ask Dan an off-the-wall question.
Oh, no.
So does anyone use, and again, I'm dating myself when I bring this up, and Eric may not even know what this is. Does anyone, Dan, use cane poles anymore?
There was a resurgence in that, although the cane pole itself, the concept, right? It's a longer rod.
Yep.
You can kind of dink and dunk around, find a little weed pocket or something.
See, I grew up fishing things like the Black River, the Mississippi River, in the western part of the state, and cane poles were things that we would use. You'd use a cane pole, and you'd have a string, and when I fished with my grandfather, you'd have a bell on it, and you'd fish the bottom, and when that bell rang, you pulled that baby in.
It was the original tip-up.
Yeah, it was the original tip-up back in the day, right? So
yeah, there are people that, however, the material has changed mostly to a synthetic telescoping version. Still really big in Europe. In fact, a lot of their championship tours and stuff like that and contests they have in derbies out there are done with rods like that. They're fishing canals and stuff like that. But absolutely still applicable. I won't find one on my boat, but I'm supposed to take Wags out this year, so I'm planning on resurrecting that cane pole for him.
Okay, yeah, no, that's perfect.
I actually have one.
Yeah,
cane pole. It was my grandfather's, and I still have it. So it's one of those things where, and again, like I said, growing up, fishing the Mississippi in the western part of the state. That's the kind of stuff we used, Eric, back in the day. I know it's old, right? And you're like, how did you even catch a fish with those things?
Well, do you still have the bell on it?
Yeah, I still have it somewhere. Yeah, my
okay.
stuff. Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. So there you go. If you're looking for a cane pole, maybe you'll have. I don't think there'll be a cane pole seminar though, Eric.
Somehow
I don't think that's going to happen. So again, Dan, hey, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. The dates again are the 21st through the 23rd at the Exhibition Hall at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. If you're familiar with Madison, it's not the Coliseum. It's the building next door. The Wisconsin Fishing Expo. The website again, Eric, what's the website again?
wifishingexpo.com. And those all your details, information, tickets, all that, maps, like I said, just directions on how to get in. Some of the places to access the parking lots are all clearly displayed out there. Dan, you guys did a great job with the website.
Hey, Dan, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right, appreciate it. Friend of the show, Dan Durbin here. Thank you.
There you go. Dan Durbin joining us here on Tailgate Talk, and I'm it's fun for me when we have these like the All Canada show and this, because there was a time in my career where I was there for these shows, and we did live shows for 3 days from these things, and they're big deals.
Yeah,
and it's how we consume things in our lives are different, but these were things that you look forward to because you were just sick of winter.
Right.
And you wanted to get out.
Yeah.
And it was like you and your buddies would get together and you would go to the fishing expo or you would go to the hunting expo, that type of stuff. And again, look what Dan and his team put on beautifully over in the Oshkosh area at EAA with the ice fishing expo.
Right.
That stuff didn't exist. But the fishing expo now, it's really funny when he says it's been on for almost 40 years. And that's
crazy.
Crazy.
Just an FYI, that's longer than I've been alive.
There's a method to my madness. This weekend, make sure that she sees you cleaning out the tackle box, throwing some rods and reels away, saying, you know what, man, this life vest jacket I have, or these boots, I've had them for a long, long time. I need to get some different boots. See where I'm going with this?
Oh yeah,
yeah. You know what? Maybe you just say, hey, that cane pole is old.
Yeah.
You looked at me when I brought up the cane pole. I'm sure Durbin's going, what the hell, a cane pole?
Yeah.
What is this, 1978?
Of course, that's what he's going to rig Wags up with when they go out together.
Yeah, of course.
funny.
Again, for more information or purchase tickets, you can visit wifishingexpo.com, wifishingexpo.com. By the way, be prepared. I ran that show for a long time, not like in charge, but did it.
Yeah.
Let's just say that parking can be a little.
They actually have advisories on their secret. They've even got secret spot tip for fishermen. On how to get in there. And...
I'm just telling you that It can be difficult. I'll just leave it at that. I was trying to be
because it comes
polite.
right off the freeway, and it's right there, so there's a lot of backups there. So
if you go off Rimrock, John Nolan Drive, that's how you get to it. So, this show each and every week would not be possible. First and foremost, without our great sponsor, Bunzel's. We're in a new month now. We haven't talked about February yet, have we?
And they've got a February meat deal, a whole pork tenderloin, 2 homemade bratwursts, a whole or cut-up chicken, a pound of ground chuck, and 2 chicken patties, $20.25. Not a bad way to go if you need a couple things for dinner for this week for you, yourself, or for you and your missus. But I think it's important to just also talk about, we've talked about their catering options before in the past, too. The big game is just right around the corner here. Oh, no, it happened already.
No, it's tomorrow. The big game is tomorrow.
The Super Bowl was last weekend.
Dude, it's the Daytona 500 tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when I was growing up, and again,
wow, I don't even know what day. We miss a week in here.
Racing is not everybody's gig. I get it. Hey, Billy and his dad right now are in Daytona. Getting ready for the race tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, when I grew up and again, you follow the lead of your father, right?
Yeah.
Well, most people do. It was Super Bowl Sunday, and then the next weekend, it's Daytona, baby.
Yeah, if you watch the Super Bowl, how could you not know that it's the Daytona 500?
Oh, yeah,
it felt like there was a promo in every commercial break for that.
So if you have a Daytona 500 party
if you have a Daytona 500 party, they have excellent catering options for all of those. I mean, I'm just looking at this one. It's the theme of it is barbecue and picnics. I mean, they've got your brats, your burgers, your chicken, whether you want like barbecue ones, pulled or whole chicken breasts. I mean, they got it all, and they just make it super easy. So take a little bit of the stress out of hosting. Let them take care of it.
Well,
for
and
you.
here's the thing too: Wisconsin people are hardy stock. Right?
Yeah.
And so last Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, I got out the grill.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the sons over their girlfriends fired up the grill.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that for your Daytona 500 party tomorrow, if you're doing that,
Yeah.
well, go to Bunzel's today, stock up, and you know what? Fire up the grill. I mean, for us, it's just what we do. You put on a jacket, you go after it, right?
Yeah, I actually think it's kind of fun to grill in winter.
So do you do it outside, or do you do it in your garage with the door open?
Outside. It's just right on the patio. Actually, it's funny, with all these storms that we were talking about earlier, we had our grill typically just sits right on the edge of our patio like our addition of our patio that I just poured. And we had these 3 small little pine trees that we had planted that they were like baby arborvitaes. They're like 2 feet tall. We kind of had them in a little planter. So I transitioned them into the ground, and they were just right off to try and grow them. So we have a little screen clearing. Well, the wind was blowing, and it was like a sail for our grill. Our grill killed one of our arborvitaes that fell right on top of it.
You killed the arborvitae.
I did. It was my fault. The grill was still left there.
Because that's what happens. You get Eric. You could have moved that grill, right?
I could have. Yeah. And all the times, it's funny. We got just like a small storage unit just for the winter, just to put some stuff in there while we're kind of like getting our sorts still. Yeah. And I should have known. In the 10 times that I had made the joke to Sherry about, boy, I'm really glad we got this storage unit. Our neighbors might not have any furniture left on their patio by the end of winter because they've all blown off and they've never done anything to pick them back up and put them back in sorts.
I don't feel sorry for those people.
I don't either.
No. My neighbor's that way.
Yeah.
They have all their stuff out. And it drives my wife nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts. And I'm like, that's their problem.
Yep.
She's like, it's an eyesore. I go, it's their problem.
Yeah.
I mean, meanwhile, we have our stuff in the basement.
Right.
And we bring our stuff in.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Chairs aren't cheap.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you spend all that money.
Have you priced patio furniture lately?
Oh, it's nuts.
Yes.
We bought a set last year, and it was just like, do we really need this?
Exactly. So the theme for this weekend is cleanup weekend.
Yeah.
Right?
It might be cold, but you know what? If you can sit in the cold, you can work in the cold.
Well, I mean, if bring your stuff into the garage, bring it into the basement, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And get after it, and that gets you prepared for the fishing expo.
You know what I've noticed the last couple of weeks? I don't know if you and I have actually talked about this. I know I have talked to Wags about it, but I've been doing a lot of shed hunting with the pup.
Right.
And we were very successful in our first endeavor, and it kind of gets me a little choked up even talking about it. I posted a video that said, everybody said you'll never forget your first or your last hunt with your dog. And what are the chances that the first time I take Little Miss Hattie out, we find a gorgeous 4-point side, probably a 21-inch almost main beam, and it was so cool to do that, but what I realized is that it's been very difficult to try and dress for this because it might be really cold outside, but once you put on 5 miles of walking through cornfields, boy, you sure warm up pretty quick.
Oh, you do. Yeah, you do.
It's just, I don't know. You got to just, once you get moving, it's really not that bad outside. So you just get out there, get it taken care of, and then when the missus sees you doing all of this work to prepare for summer, you're going to just think, oh, yeah, maybe I do need a new fishing pole. Maybe I do need a new rod. Maybe I do need a who knows what.
But you're not going to get it, or at least get a chance to get one, if you don't show it this weekend that I'm emptying the tackle box.
So put in the work. Yeah. My mom has this philosophy with
Use
me.
Use the butchie term, a little sweat equity.
Yeah.
It'll pay off for you.
Yeah. My mom had this philosophy for me my whole life growing up of putting deposits in the bank. Okay. So you do all of these little deeds here and there, and it might be 50 cents here, $1 there of these deposits that you're putting into your bank account. And when you want to pull a withdrawal out, say it is a whole new set of fishing poles.
Right.
You better make sure you got enough deposits in there.
What did Ted Davis say after every Bucks win? It's in the bank.
It's in the bank.
And earning interest.
Yeah.
We talk about the Fishing Expo, and it was great to have Dan Durbin on last segment. That's coming up next weekend. The following weekend, if you're still looking for something to do, and I'm sure it's on your calendar and WAG's calendar too, I believe it's a week later, March 1st, it's the Wisconsin Bowhunters Association 84th Annual Convention.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's going to take place in Stevens Point at the Holiday Inn Hotel and Convention Center. Convention kicks off at 8 a.m. with a business meeting, which members are invited to attend. The convention also includes a vendor display hall from 9:30 until 5. Seminars, raffles, and games. Public is welcome to attend. It's only $5 to get in. And if you hit something big, scores will be on hand from Pope and Young and the Wisconsin Buck and Bear Club. And the public, if you want to bring in a head for scoring, you can do that too. But again, the Wisconsin Bowhunters Annual Convention, 84th Annual Convention, is going to take place next Saturday at the Holiday Inn Hotel and Convention Center in Stevens Point. For more information on that, I'm trying to get a website for you here quick. It's wisconsinbowhunters.org. Wisconsinbowhunters.org. That is coming up March 1st in Stevens Point.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's nice to see a lot of this stuff. You know, I mean, you can be as active or as inactive as you'd like to be in this outdoor community that we love to always talk about.
No Paul Wagner today in the show. He was off doing Paul Wagner things. He'll be back next week in the program. If you missed any of this show or past shows, you need to go to our website at 973thegame.com, click on podcasts.